Yeah.
Tell me about, I'm fascinated with Aim at the Stars because I think you were a trailblazer going through, and because of the difficulty you had achieving what you had to do in that environment, you've obviously created Aim for the Stars because you know how hard it is for women out there to achieve their goals.
Yeah.
One of the things that I loved was we find it really hard to ask for help.
Yeah.
And it's like you've got to be, you know, I like the fact that you can be courageous enough to ask for help. Why do we find it so hard to ask for help?
I think women feel that it's an expression of vulnerability or weakness if they don't know what they're doing. And the human spirit, we've always learned through failure and setback. I mean, we learned how to walk by falling on our arse. We went to school and had to put our hand up and ask the teacher, how do I fill in this equation, or what's that word, or you know, we're inquisitive, we're curious, we're willing to learn, and then as we become adults, we have this fear of failure and this fear of letting someone down, or fear of not knowing. Well, the fact is, you don't know everything all the time, and for some reason, we lose that curiosity, we lose that willingness to learn and make mistakes, and so therefore, we're actually losing the lesson. And And I have learned how to find my way places by getting lost. That was the best way to learn. And so I always revert back to that analogy. It's like, okay, I feel lost and I know I'm going to get there in the end. Yeah. So start to pay attention because you know not to come down this track again. Yeah. But the thing is, we've become so absorbed or so focused on the outcome that we fail to witness the journey. And so it's the thing about Aim for the Stars is supporting people's journey and being present in their journey, and being able to provide for them what they can't provide for themselves. And this foundation is such a little niche charity because we're providing girls that have passion, initiative and drive and enthusiasm.
So many different areas.
Yeah, in so many different areas.
Yeah.
I mean, marine biologists and heart research scientists and orchestral conductor and human rights lawyer. We had 13 girls competing in London at the Olympic Games. And just extraordinary women doing amazing things, and we're giving them between $1,500 and $6,000, and it's changing their lives in a monumental way. And so the lesson that I've learned from this is, firstly, never underestimate the impact you can have on someone else's life. Yeah. Just choose for it to be a positive one. Yeah. Choose to make an impact. Stop sitting on your hands and thinking that you can't do enough because you can't give enough. A little bit makes a big difference. If someone, when I was down and out, if someone came up to me that I had a deep amount of respect and regard for and said, I believe in you, get back up and do it. That just inspired me so much. I picked myself up and did it. And all it was a few words.
Do you think it comes down to someone else believing in you, which gives you the strength to believe in yourself?
Absolutely, yeah. It always requires that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and that's what I am. I'm a mentor to all the girls. We've given over $500,000 to several hundred women across Australia to achieve their dreams in all endeavours. And the motto is dare to dream, pursue your passion and aspire to achieve. And it's a wonderful foundation, I think.
There's been, it's been going for quite a number of years.
10 years this year.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah, and if thank you. If anyone wants to come to the fundraiser, we have one annual fundraiser a year at the Ivy.
Okay.
This year on September the 6th. So if anyone wants to come along, jump onto the website, Aim for the Stars.
Okay, no, we'll definitely support that.
Yeah.
But just tell me, like, one of the success stories that sort of stand out for you.
Well, there's two that actually stand out for me. Oh, there's many actually. I mean, Casey Easton was our first ever grant recipient, and then we gave her a 3-year scholarship, and she became one of the greatest hockey room players. She's one of the leaders in the hockey room team, and it was her goal to represent Australia at Beijing, and we helped her achieve that. Emma Henschel is an aerial trapeze artist. We gave her $3,000 to compete in the World Championships, and she won gold medals, and went on to other events and was headhunted by Cirque du Soleil due to her performance in those events.
That's amazing.
If it wasn't for us giving her that money, she wouldn't have wanted to.
So the money is really grassroots stuff,
It's all grassroots, yeah. We're helping people through education, through challenge, through just paying for the simple things such as equipment. We have currently a young girl called Shannon LeVay, who's a human rights lawyer, and she just graduated from Monash University last week, and myself and my general manager, Megan, went down to Melbourne to go to her graduation because she really doesn't have any family. She was born into a satanic cult in South Australia.
Whoa.
Escaped when she was 8 years old and has been hunted ever since by this cult. And every time they find her, they catch her and traumatise her.
Oh my God.
Somehow physically punish her. So she's been set on fire, she's been stabbed, she's been attacked with an axe, she's had the top of her ear cut off recently over Easter. She's been shot, stabbed, set on fire, attacked, just constantly under threat. And so she ran away and found a church, and the pastor of the church took her in and formally adopted her. Her mum was killed by the cult when she was about 12 years old, and so she's pretty much been left alone. So we went down to, we've helped her pay for her education. She was never formally educated, but she's qualified through Monash with a master's degree in human rights law so she can defend herself, because ritual abuse cults in this country are not illegal.
Oh my God.
So women like that are just popping up all the time through our application process
That's
online.
extraordinary. I wonder how she sort of found that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How old is she?
25.
Wow.
I have never seen her so happy
Oh my God.
in all my life.
That's
I mean, I've only known her for a couple of years.
It's a tragic story.
Oh, but it's an inspirational story.
Yeah,
because she's
unbelievable.
willing to fight, and she's
Yeah.
constantly in fear of her life.
Yeah.
And she's constantly being attacked. And the thing is, there's never any alibis or witnesses, so
Yeah.
no one knows what's going on. But she just finds herself in hospital. And there's a lot of people that she resorts to that she thinks she'll find safety and protection, and they're actually part of the cult as well, in very powerful places.